Yep. Alright, we'll just do what I told you before. Get your test light and check your fuses. Okay, that's all it is. It's just a bad fuse. Alright? Alright, let me know. See ya. Oh my goodness. You know, electrical problems happen and everybody loses their mind. That's somebody with a problem, electrical problem. Check your fuses. My name's Jim Bob, and this is your fuse. Or maybe this is your fuse. Fuses come in many different sizes and shapes for your automobiles and your lawn equipment and anything else that's pretty much 12 volt. Your boat, your jet ski, your snowmobile, they all got fuses. And it's not a big deal when you blow a fuse. And to check your fuse, you need a test light such as this one. And you take your test light and you hook your negative side, your alligator clip of the test light to the negative side of the battery. This is a minus sign. That's negative. That's going to be black. I'm sorry, I don't have black wire, so this one's red. Okay, just ignore that like you don't see it. The black goes to minus. Alright. The other side of the battery is the red side. That is the plus side. Okay, there's a plus sign. Every battery has a symbol. There's plus and minus. This is going to be your 12 volt power. This is going to be your 12 volt ground. Now on the other end of this wire I did put some black tape on there so we know that's the ground side. So we hook our test light alligator end up to the negative side, the minus side of your battery. And if you take that test light and you put it to the positive side of the battery, the light lights up. Okay, that means you have power. You have stuff going on. You have juice from that side to this side in the test light. Now, many test lights are different. You can get them with LED bulbs in them. I don't suggest that because they're funky with voltage. But just basically testing fuses on everyday stuff. All you need is a cheap test light like this. I think this was $9. Pick one up and you'll feel like an automotive electrician in no time. So here is the old school standard side fuse. This is a mini fuse. This is a micro fuse. They just made them smaller to fit more of them in your vehicle because they're so much more electronics. But every fuse has a power side coming right from the positive side of the battery. Okay, your fuse block is going to have one side powered. Now, the other side is feeding whatever that fuse is for, and that's going to go to here. All right, and you don't know where it's going. You probably don't care, but that's how it works. Comes in here. There's a little tiny wire in there that you can see, and that's what hooks this side to this side. And I don't care if it's this fuse or it's that fuse or it's any other kind of fuse because they make a lot of fuses. It's not a circuit breaker, it's a fuse. We'll get into circuit breakers later. But just to test your fuse, all you need is a test light. And you go through all your fuses and you poke them in the top. There's little holes in the top. See the little contacts in the top there, those little metal things? You don't have to take the fuse out. You just gotta poke your test light in there. If it lights up, it's good on both sides, okay? So if I test this one, the light lights up. That fuse is good. Now if there's an issue in your circuitry, you have a bad bulb that shorted out or something, this is the ground wire. Now I'm going to touch this to that post and you're going to watch this fuse blow, okay? I think it blew, but I'm not sure. I didn't really see it. So now I think it blew because it shorted out to ground. Okay, we shorted the fuse out with the negative side of the battery. This doesn't like any negatives in here. It all likes positive power. It likes to bring positive power in and put it out to whatever it's going to. So if it popped, I should be able to touch this and it's not lit up. Okay, so well, maybe the key's not on or maybe something's wrong. So let's test this side. Make sure this side still has power. This side still has power. So then I go to this leg again, there's no power. That means somewhere in there, my lighting is terrible, I'm sorry. Somewhere in there, I think it's right there, that wire blew. So that means your fuse is no good. Now, if you lose tail lights or headlights or your radio or your cigarette lighter, it's not a big deal to blow a fuse. Fuses blow all the time, okay? But this is just a way that you can test them. And you can see this fuse with the metal tips in the end. All you got to do is just take your test light and put it in there. Now you can hook your test light to any piece of metal on whatever you're working on, and that metal should be grounded, okay? I suggest trying to get to the battery, the negative side of the battery, to do this, but sometimes you can hook it to any metal, and the all metal of the vehicle, whether it's that car or that lawnmower or it's that truck or it's a boat or something, as long as it's chassis metal, it should be grounded. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to be, so you're probably better off to try and get to the battery if you can. All right, even if you tie a piece of wire on it like I did and hook it to your alligator clip. But that's how the fuses are working. That's how to test them. It's not rocket science. You don't have to take them out like this. I don't have a vehicle right here with a blown fuse, but if I did, I would take my test light and I would probe the back of the fuse, both sides, because you want to make sure you have power. And then over here, if I don't have power, like I showed you in my little demonstration, that fuse is bad. Pull it out, put a new one in, you should be good to go. If you put a new one in and it pops again, you have a dead short. You need to call your mechanic or Jim Bob or somebody. All right? That's little basics on fuses tonight and how to check them. I'm going to get into the electrical side of stuff because a lot of people are wondering, and I'm really into electrical, and I'm pretty sure I can explain it in simple terms to you, and I think that's what people need. I'm Jim Bob. Have a good night. We'll see you later.